Luna and its associated algorithmic stablecoin, Terra, both plummet over 99% in just a matter of a few days. The cryptocurrency market has been absolutely brutal recently with Bitcoin, but also especially with altcoins and in the DeFi space. Of course, the one that you're probably seeing flashed all over the news and talked about in all sorts of crypto spaces is the massive downfall of Terra and Luna. And my deepest sympathies go out to the Luna community, who they self-refer themselves as lunatics. So I apologize to all of the lunatics that are out there who are probably struggling greatly because of what is going on. So what exactly happened with Luna and Terra, and what exactly was this project aiming to accomplish, and how did it come to a collapse this dramatic and this massive? Now, if you look online, especially on Twitter or Reddit, there is a lot of different theories going around as to what potentially led to the initial crash and burn of these two associated coin pairs. Now, the reality of the situation is there's actually not a clear answer of what exactly led to the initial shock to the system that led to the death spiral that followed dramatically afterwards. Of course, people are trying to blame governments, people are trying to blame large corporations and investment firms, and there is a lot of running theories, but we just don't have an answer right now as to what exactly led to this downfall. What exactly did these pairs do, and why was the fall so dramatic? So to first understand this, you must first understand fundamentally what this project was aiming to accomplish. You see, UST, which is one of the coins in this pairing, is a coin that is supposed to be pegged directly to the value of a dollar. Now, unlike many other stablecoins that are supposed to be tied directly to the value of the dollar through a pegging of actual real-world dollars, meaning that for every coin that you hold, somewhere else it is being represented as a real-world dollar, like through a bond or other format where you have real-world value set aside to represent that on the blockchain. However, in this system, it is an algorithmic pairing to the US dollar that keeps its peg. Essentially, how this works is it requires another coin, which therein enters Luna. So the way this works is that one UST or Terra could always be traded for the equal value of $1 regardless of the price of Luna. So to make this quite easy, if Luna was worth $1, then it would be a 1-to-1 swap between the two coins. Now, if the price of Luna was to go up or go down, that would obviously change that 1-to-1 factor. So for example, let's say the price of Luna is now $10. This would mean that one USD can be traded for 0.1 Luna, as that would be the equivalent value of $1 of Luna. One UST will always buy you $1 worth of Luna, regardless of the price of the coin. Now, the way the peg stays where it is through a smart contract and algorithm that incentivizes the price of Terra UST to always stay close to or exactly at a dollar and therefore keep its peg. The way this works is by incentivized arbitrage. So to give you an idea how this would work, let's say the UST pairing goes above $1. Let's say, to keep this simple, it's now worth $1.10. This would mean that you would be able to go in and buy $1 worth of Luna and use the smart contract to go ahead and swap it over for one token of UST. By doing so, you could then sell that UST on open market to make a 10-cent profit. And of course, you could do this with extremely large sums of money over and over again until the value of that coin was reduced back down to $1, and then that arbitrage no longer exists. Then let's say we have a situation that's in the reverse direction. So now the UST is now worth 90 cents. So we've gone in the exact opposite direction. You would then be able to buy those tokens at 90 cents, and then you'd be able to swap them over for exactly $1 worth of Luna, and therefore have a 10% profit in value when you go ahead and sell your Luna. So this basically incentivizes people through the use of arbitrage to always keep the value of USD as close to $1 as possible. There's also other metrics that are in place as well, such as being able to burn and to mint Luna in order to go ahead and keep this process algorithm going on forever. Which on paper, this all sounds like a great idea. The issue is most algorithmic stablecoins typically end up failing and enter into what's called a death spiral. So what exactly is a death spiral, and how exactly does something like that go about? Essentially, what happens during a death spiral is where the system that's designed to protect itself in this algorithm essentially becomes its own demise as faith in the system fails. The entire algorithm inside the system is based on the idea that everyone has trust and faith within said system. So what exactly happened with the downfall of this system, like many of the algorithmic stablecoins before it? Well, essentially, at some point, because of the massive pressure that came in this new bear market in the cryptocurrency space, the UST Terra peg to the dollar eventually fell, and fell well below the value of a dollar. Now, typically this arbitrage that goes on is usually on fractions of pennies and doesn't actually usually amount to large numbers. So at some point in the system, the UST became completely unpegged from the value of the dollar and began to collapse. This of course led to massive panic and frustration with the system and a complete lack of trust within that system, which led to people dumping out their USD. And then of course the people that were using the arbitrage to move their UST over to Luna for massive arbitrage profits, which of course causes a collapse in the price of Luna as it's trying to maintain the system. And as there's a massive backlog within this algorithm, more Luna then needs to be printed in order to keep the system sustainable, therefore continuously devaluing the value of Luna, causing also the price collapse of Luna alongside the price collapse of USD. And as both prices begin to collapse, more panic enters into the space as more people exit their positions, which further perpetuates the problem as everything comes tumbling down to the ground. And that's how from just a week prior, we saw Terra pegged to the dollar, and we saw Luna having a value of over $100, collapsing to the point where USD is well below the pegged value of the dollar, and the price of Luna has pretty much collapsed to near zero, being fractions of a penny. This also, of course, has led to the fallout that's ensued afterwards, as the blockchain has been stopped twice now in order to deal with the potential security risks and what they're going to do moving forward to correct this issue if they can even come to any form of a resolution. Now, this video was supposed to be just a basic overview of the kind of mechanisms of how the system works inside of Terra and Luna and what led to the death spiral and downfall that happened after the faith in the system collapsed. I, of course, will be following what happens with this in the future very closely, and I'm genuinely curious to hear what your guys' thoughts are on this situation. Do you guys think that algorithmic stablecoins are a good prospect that will eventually have their issues fixed in the future? Or do you guys think that these types of systems are always doomed to fail in the end and always end up in a death spiral as they have done historically? Once again, my heart does reach out sincerely for those that have been adversely affected by the downfall of this cryptocurrency project. If you need any support during this time, I am always open on my Twitter accounts and in my Discord if you want to go ahead and reach out to me and need someone to talk to. If you're new to my channel and want to continue to follow my videos as I talk about cryptocurrency, please don't forget to smash the subscribe button and don't forget to click the notification bell so you can be notified when I produce new content. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will catch all of you guys in my next video. Cheers.